Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 210 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my brother, Show One.
How we doing?
Fantastic. Normally I can't snap. Ooh, that was good.
Can you snap with your left hand?
That's what the hell? Do you not know what this hand is?
I just assumed you did it with your right, but...
Dirty.
Have you ever heard of Alone in the Dark?
What the hell? We just talked about this. What were you trying to say?
Are you afraid of the dark?
Okay, well, that makes sense. But it doesn't because I just said it. And I don't think you were even drinking. I thought you were just like,
no.
Have you heard of Alone in the Dark? Oh.
Good times.
You had to be here. Anyways, if this is the first time you're seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week, two brothers get together and tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure you like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everybody in between. If you only catch us on in betwixt, if you only catch us on audio services around the multiverse, make sure you leave a 5-star review and make Dustin Starr proud. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2player co-op, just like our producers, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, and Vernon Slayton did, as well as our affiliate, the homie, James Solar. If you like merch, you can go to teespring.com/2player co-op, just like some people did. I'd never checked that site.
Well, probably because you gave them the wrong address.
What did I say?
You didn't say /stores.
I just said /2player co-op?
Yep.
teespring.com/stores/2player.
No wonder we're not selling any shirts.
Well, and the banner, hopefully the banner didn't work the first time because it would be very confusing. It's very
refreshing.
And I'm not doing the other banner anymore. I'm done.
Twitch?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to log into it on my PlayStation and just start, like...
If you end up getting us hundreds of followers, then we'll start pimping it again.
Speaking of which, but not really, I was asking you about that. We got one today.
Does it work?
We got one that the other end has Wi-Fi.
Right.
Because our router doesn't reach downstairs. I hadn't really had it. I mean, it's working. I can connect to it. But
see, we also get the reason it worked a couple weeks ago, whenever that was, James, when I said the dog ate through the cord on our
that was just last week.
Router. Was that just last week?
I think so.
The reason it worked is because of that thing over there.
Yeah.
You see it on the corner of my desk. We've got a mesh network. Jess had bought it for the school. They ended up not using it, so we've just had it sitting here.
Thing?
Yeah.
The mini Xbox Series X?
Yeah, exactly.
It's white.
So we've got 3 of those around the house. And
That's legit what it is.
yeah, it's complete with the mesh on top and everything. But that's how.
So tell me about this mesh.
Because I needed to get better internet now that my PlayStation is in the front room. Because when it was just the kids out there on their Xbox and they're complaining about their ping and crap, I was like, I don't care. But now that mine's out there, even though I don't play multiplayer games, although Nick's been going crazy on Rocket League, we'll talk about that here in a second. I tried to get another one of these. I might have told you this. I can't remember. I tried to just get an add-on thing, but when I activated the add-on, it canceled this out. Like it was like it's only a 1-to-1 connection, even though it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I just said, the hell with that, I don't care. So I use that, and I get perfect internet there.
So
and
how does
pretty
the
darn
mesh
good internet
thing
here
work?
too. It's basically, there's just one Wi-Fi network that you connect to. It's the same name for your 3 routers. And
so that's pretty much, I have like the beginning of that because that's how my thing works.
Correct.
It's got the same name, same password as the normal router. So like I can just connect to that thing and it'll be like, that one's better. I'll connect to that point.
Mine's a different one just because I don't want the kids getting onto it with their stupid, with their Xbox and stuff.
But how are they all connected?
You sync them up. You plug in the first one to your router. You turn it on.
But is it taking the Wi-Fi and then spitting it back out, and then that one takes the Wi-Fi and spits it back out?
No, it takes Ethernet to the first one.
Okay.
Then it spits it out as Wi-Fi. The other one is in the front room next to the bookcase. It grabs the Wi-Fi, amplifies it, so it's almost
that's what
the
we
same
used
signal.
to have, but probably not as good. We just had a Wi-Fi like repeater, and it just didn't work. That's why I wanted this thing that's like hardwired and then spits out Wi-Fi as opposed to needing the Wi-Fi, And so far, it seems to be working pretty well. But
yeah. Well, that was your home internet portion of the podcast.
That was.
James, we're both drinking coffee.
Caramel macchiato. I wanted to get a white mocha, and they're like, we're out of white mocha sauce. I'm like, come on. So I got a macchiato.
I'm telling you, my favorite thing is the vanilla sweet. I think it's vanilla sweet cream iced coffee. It is the nectar of the gods.
Have you
It's
ever
like
had
it came
their...
right out of? It's like it was made by a Greek god. I'm not saying I'm one. It's a tease for later.
Have you had their nitro?
Yes,
I like that.
I like it a lot. Jess
But I don't
introduced me
like
to
that
it.
they don't... It's like it's kind of cold, but not very cold. But they
It's-
also don't put it on ice.
it's
I'm
not
like, you
room
either need to
temperature,
keep
but
it
it's-
colder
yeah.
or give me it over ice.
That was the problem I used to have when we would always go to Fox and Hound when we lived in Cordova. All their kegs, it's like they were maybe 40 degrees or something. I was like, this is
That's not enough.
my beer needs to be on the verge of
almost frozen.
freezing. Otherwise, just let it go. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to say this every week until that was a run-on sentence. I'm supposed to say this every week.
Comma.
Period.
Period.
Or comma. I just hadn't had a thing in there. Nitro's overrated. Vanilla sweet cream cold brew. Thank you, James. Every week until we're out of this pandemic, I'm going to tell everyone to go ahead and wear their mask. And James Solar is the only one that gets to hear me unbleeped. Until some of y'all freeloaders,
Wahooed.
y'all freeloaders get up to that $10 level, get on our James's level. You know what I'm saying? Wear your mask. Just
do it.
Nike.
Don't be a bee.
Don't be a bee.
In apartment 23.
Speaking of, that was a show, right?
It was.
Was that Zoe?
For like a season.
Zoe Deschanel?
No, it was the chick from Breaking Bad that like puked in her mouth.
Kristen
and died.
Ritter? How the hell do I know that?
Yes.
That is weird.
Definitely Ritter.
Wasn't she in some Marvel thing? Oh, she was Jessica Jones. Not Jessica Jones. Was that the name? The Marvel show?
That was a
the
thing.
Netflix show? Was that her?
I think that was her. I don't know if she was Jessica Jones or she was just in it.
This has been your Kristen Ritter trivia portion of the podcast. What the hell's going on?
Slow news week.
Speaking of drinks, we will be having some this Saturday night.
Is that a question?
Well, I'm just wondering if you know what time is good for you, because I live
Whenever.
here. Around 7:30. Somewhere
Oh.
we'll tweet it out and all that stuff. Wait,
Oh, wait, no. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, I'm in.
we're gonna do our 5-year anniversary stream. It's gonna be a nice chill stream. We were trying to think of
It's not going to be a
ideas.
big spectacle. It's just, we'll
It's
be
just gonna be
live.
fun.
We'll be on Twitch after we just said. Well, no, we'll
Nope,
be on YouTube.
we will be on YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's just, I was trying to think of all these ideas. We already did our top 50 games of all time for episode 200. Originally, that was going to be the 5-year plan, but we couldn't think of something else for the 5-year plan, so we did that for episode 200.
When Street Fighter 6 comes out, we'll do another best
in
of.
2022, we definitely will do. We've never done a Street Fighter 5 stream.
I don't know that I've ever played it.
Did
I probably
you get
played
it on PS Plus. I hope you claimed it a month ago.
Oh, I think I claimed it.
Well, but I mean, at
didn't
least you can
download it.
practice and get on my level.
Wait, isn't it on the? Is it on the collection or no? No, Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat is.
Yeah, that's
and I
what
can't
it
remember if it's 10 or 11, but I think it's 10.
It's 10.
Yeah. It's .net. But we're just going to have a chill stream. It's not going to be a podcast.
Yeah.
We're just going to hang out for a couple, 2-3 hours. Who knows how it goes? Who knows how good Sackboy is, because I still haven't played it. I'm waiting. But
Is that the first time you said what we were doing?
oh, yeah, crap. We're going to stream Sackboy. We're 2-player co-op. For our 5-year anniversary, I say we got to do something in 2-player co-op mode. So we're going to do 2-player co-op Sackboy. And I'm looking forward to it. Again, as much as I loved Astro's Playroom, I have high hopes for a living, and also for Sackboy.
Nice. I was getting ready to do it, but then you did it.
What? For a living?
Yeah. I was singing in my head. I'm like, what are the words? And
I didn't sing it.
Well,
I'm not singing it. So join us Saturday night. It'll be on Twitter and stuff. And you should be signed up for notifications for us on YouTube anyway, so you'll get notified when we go live. So just a heads up there. I guess I do need to make some graphics and stuff. I got time. I can see the scratch thing because the light is hitting it just right, and that's going to drive me nuts. Bang. Well, yeah, then there's that. One other piece of news here before we get into everything else. Not even news, witty banter, as I have it written down here. Super Nintendo World is officially opening in February in Japan. Too bad none of us will be able to go see it. Unless you're in Japan.
I will.
Like I needed another reason to want to go to Japan.
I'm already trying to figure out whenever we can travel again, I'm going to find a reason to go to China for work and then
Solar says Astro is better. We shall see Saturday night.
layover in. I mean, not layover. A quick trip to
Jaunt.
Tokyo on the way.
Yeah.
Well, is it Tokyo?
I don't think it's Tokyo. I didn't.
I mean
write
Tokyo
It down.
area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some
Because I'm not making a trip to Japan just for that. Right. I got to already be over in that general
exactly.
vicinity.
Yes.
So,
but I mean, well, for me, I've never been, and I want to go make a trip out of Japan, and then that's just one of the things I would do.
yeah. But yeah, I will.
It
I
looks
say it's on my
so
bucket
cool.
list. I'm too young to have a bucket list.
No, you're not.
Hashtag Team Young.
We're in the middle of a pandemic. No, you're not.
That's true. Yeah. Maybe I should have a bucket list.
I'm so excited. I don't know why I'm excited. I just can't hide it. Have you watched? You have Peacock?
I don't think so.
I haven't watched this. I've heard Saved by the Bell is not that great.
I don't even know it started already.
All I know is when that trailer went up and they started singing "Friends Forever," it was like a remix version though, but still, like, I literally got goosebumps. What is wrong with me?
It reminded me of when Girl Meets World was a thing, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I watched it, and I'm like, "Well, this is terrible."
Yeah,
It's like something that I would think I wanted, and then once I saw it, I'm like, "No, this is not good."
yeah,
It was too Disney Channel.
yeah.
Like it was not about Corey and Topanga. It was about the stupid kids. I'm like,
Well, that's
I don't care.
Fuller
about them.
House wasn't even.
Oh yeah, and Fuller House
Fuller
too.
House
That's
wasn't
right.
even a Disney thing. It was just weird. Like Stephanie was always.
I wonder if
naked
we'll
and
ever
stuff, and it
get
was,
like a.
weird.
I wonder if we'll ever get like Family Matters.
Family doesn't
more.
matter.
Step by step by step.
Wait, James Solar writes in and says he's only played like an hour of Sick Bay, and I didn't play co-op, so he can't. He doesn't even know the name of the game, so I'm not worried about your opinion, James Solar.
Sick Bay.
Kidding. Speaking of Sick Bay, speaking of James Solar, James. First off, I have to say before I read this, when I first read this question the other day before you went in and edited it, I was like, "Who's drunk behind?" Got on our Google Doc and wrote this down with like it didn't even end. It was just like letter. It was like I got the gist of it, and then there was just letters, and it stopped. And I was like, I don't know. So originally in the rundown, I wrote down random question, but now James edited it, so I know it's James.
He what?
Edited it. That's one of the hardest
Edited it.
things to say is edited it. And I'm not even drunk or drinking. I mean, I'm drinking. I'm drinking coffee. Hey guys, have either of you used the redesigned PlayStation app? Maybe I'm incredibly dumb, but I found myself confused whenever I try to use it. It feels very clunky, and I feel like I'm clicking in circles. I was simply trying to look my trophies and friends' trophies, and I couldn't get it to cooperate. Am I the only one? I don't have a problem with the trophy thing, but the one thing I noticed when I redeemed a code for a game that we're going to talk about, I can't figure out
how to download it.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with it was Spider-Man.
Okay.
I started playing Miles. I'm like, let me go ahead and
remastered,
download remaster. So I did it, and I was like, redeem, whatever. But I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how to download it. I'm like, what? And then I just went to the PlayStation Store, and I couldn't figure out how to download it there.
If you
and
go
then I went
there,
to
it's
just
like it
redeem
wants
the
you to buy it
code,
again.
and it was like, you've already redeemed it. I'm like, I may have gotten myself into a pickle here, but I eventually got to where it allowed me to download it.
app?
But on the PlayStation.
Oh, that's what
not
I had to
through
do.
the app. Yeah.
I had to I had to turn on my PlayStation 5, go to games, go to library, scroll down to save game,
that's what I ended up
and then I
doing.
finally found it, and then I downloaded it, and I was like, the old app, while I do think this app is better, especially the PlayStation
I think it's
Store,
prettier. I think the UI is better. I just think similar to PS5, I think I just need to get used to it.
Yeah.
Or there may legit be things missing. I don't know. But it
Yeah.
certainly was not clear in the slightest how to download something that I just bought.
Yeah, if there's a way to do it, let us know, James.
Yeah, that's
or
been the
somebody
only
in the
issue I've
chat.
had.
I just don't know how to do it. I couldn't figure it out. But other than that, yeah, I haven't had problems. It's like I have a harder time finding my friends online when I'm playing my PlayStation 5 because it's in the game base, but then it's like see online friend. It doesn't. It's. I feel like a year from now we're gonna be like, oh, this is so much better.
Probably.
And what's weird too is when you go into the settings and stuff, it's the PS4. It's just that very front end is the PS5 stuff. Like all the settings, if you go through any menus, it looks exactly like the PS4, which I like. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But yeah. So no, James, I don't really. The one thing I will say, I don't really like the way the trophies display on there. I thought that was better in the old app, and I think the trophies displayed better on the PS4 itself than on the PS5 also. But overall, I like the app.
when you go to look at trophies on the PS5, do you have to go up to the upper right to go to your like profile and then go trophies? Like on the PS4, you could go to the home thing and then go up
I think you
and
do.
then over to trophies.
But I think there's also...
And I'm always looking for something like that. And I'm like, I don't want to have to go up to my like, profile. But I haven't found a better way.
I think there might be something you can do in the Funtivities. Or wait, when you go there and then you look at the trophies, are they horizontal?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only... Yeah, that's how you do it.
Okay.
Or you can click when a trophy pops, you hit the PlayStation button, and then you can say view trophies. But yeah, and that's what I don't like is that horizontal thing.
I don't mind it. I just wish there was a... It seems like I got to push too many buttons to get there.
That's the whole UI is too many presses.
Like when you hit the thing to get to the deck, whatever that thing's called. Dock. McStuffins. And there's like the things at the bottom where there's like the switcher.
Yes.
There should just be a trophy that one of those icons down there should just be trophies.
Because you can customize that, but one of them is not trophies. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, if you go down there and then I think if you just hit options, it brings up stuff that... Because I removed a couple of things. I can't remember what it was.
Some of the Doc McStuff.
That was good. That was really good.
But yeah, I feel like one of those should just be trophies, but maybe in the next update.
Maybe. Sean, besides the big one that we're going to talk about here in a minute, which you can tell by the name of the podcast, what have you played this week? And how did you beat Demon's Souls? Did you get the platinum yet?
No. But I did beat Demon's Souls. It is right now a 2, possibly 3 in the near future, 2-way race for Game of the Year now. Demon's Souls is right up there. I absolutely love it. I was not sure about it at first, but I've definitely come around on it.
So you feel the same way about Miles that I do. I really liked it, but it's not.
It was never a Game of the Year, but I'm like,
Right.
It could at least be top 3. Now I'm like, it might be it's probably top 5. I got to think back to what I've played this year, but like, I really enjoyed it. Demon's Souls, parts of the platinum are frustrating and very grindy. Mm-hmm. But even in the worst of it, which I'll get into, I'm never not having fun playing that game.
Whereas Spider-Man's like swing around.
Spider-Man, I'm like, I
just
just right now have no desire to go back and get the platinum. I'm going to.
I
I got to
will
get Spider-Man from you. I keep forgetting.
Oh, I didn't give it to you on Thanksgiving?
Nope.
I was drinking. Wow. Nope. That was perfect. I was drinking a lot. Remind me in a half hour to give Spider-Man to Sean. I think we'll still be recording a half hour from
Probably. Siri looks different.
Oh, I think it's because I've got it just down.
Now it looks.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting. I'm like, she sometimes says funny things.
It said give Spider-Man to Sean.
Duh. Oh,
DE apostrophe SHON.
so you're gonna hand Deshaun.
I wonder
Jackson.
if I have a Deshaun in my phone. That's weird that apparently I can't talk because every time I say something about Noah's medicine, it thinks I'm saying nose medicine. I must just not talk very well. Anyways, Demon's Souls.
I must not talk good. So I beat it. It's one of those games, which is weird because Bloodborne was not this way. It's one of those games that, like, the final boss is a joke.
Really?
Like, to get there is very tough.
But then it's like... Look,
the final boss, it's like, all right, you've made it this far. It's this guy, and he's, like, talking to you pretty much for the whole fight. And he just kind of, like...
Is it almost like a cutscene that you play? Is it like Breath of the Wild fighting Big Beast Ganon?
I feel like it's easier than that. I don't really remember how that went. It's literally just this guy, and he's like, it's like a big frog-looking thing. He's just kind of like fumbling around, and he's like, yeah. So I beat it. I now know that I'm going to get the platinum. Like I've gotten. It's not a hard platinum at all. It's
really. If you're good enough to beat the game, basically.
It's frustrating, it's time consuming, but it's not like Bloodborne seems like it was way harder. Like doing all the chalice dungeons.
That makes me feel
those things were
just a platinum
difficult.
You're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
And how many times do you have to beat this twice?
I think 3 times. Well, you need to beat it twice, and
But
you
there's
need
New
to
Game
start.
Plus?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there may have been a way that you could do it in 2 playthroughs without doing like save. Do like save your game, upload it, do a thing, download it, do the other thing.
Right.
There's that kind of stuff.
Choice-based stuff.
Like I was saying, when you kill a boss, you get like a special soul for beating the boss. You can just consume that soul to get a bunch of souls, or you can give it to this person and they'll give you this magic spell, or you can give it to this other Mario and they'll give you this other spell.
I see.
And one of the trophies is to get all of the spells. Well, there's 2. One of the trophies is to get all the miracles. The other one's all the magic spells. And once you use it, it's gone. Mm-hmm. So you need to play through it multiple times to be able to get. Now, there's also at least one soul, probably multiple, that you can also use the soul to get or upgrade a weapon. And I did that one time because I just wanted this weapon. But now I'm like, that means I got to at least get that far in the game 2 more times because I know there's 2 spells that I need to get that I've gotten 0 of. So it's going to take a little bit. Now, if the other thing I've noticed compared to Bloodborne, when I did New Game Plus in Bloodborne, I coasted to like halfway through the game without dying. I'm trying to play through this game the way I was playing through at the end of New Game, where I'm just like one-shotting everybody and just running around, and I'm getting not wrecked, but like I've died multiple times. Multiple.
So the enemies scale up pretty much a lot. I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
So, and I think it's more my play style than anything. Like I was reading online, people were asking, how is New Game Plus? And what level should I be to have a fair, a reasonable time on New Game Plus? And people were like, I did it around like level 80 or 90 and I'm doing fine. I think I got up to like level 106 or so in New Game. So I'm like, I'm going to be able to coast.
You keep saying New Game.
And it's not, I think I would be fine. I think I haven't really adapted to it yet, back to like how I was playing at the beginning. Yeah. I need to go back there because I'm still in the mindset of the end of the game where, I can just run around and kill everybody with like one hit. But yeah, I will definitely get the platinum. It may take a little bit of time, but it's one of those things where I've done so much of the stuff on my first playthrough by design. The second and third playthroughs, other than just being challenging, should go very quickly because I don't need to do all the side crap. I just need to beat all the bosses. So that was not. I was like, "There's no way it's been a half hour."
No.
Was I talking that long?
No, that was my reminder to go get Nick, but Jess is getting him. Oh crap! Oh, when I eventually get this, hopefully in 25 days. Does it make more sense? What do you think is the better way to play through it? Is it half and half? Like when you beat a boss and you get the souls, should you take the souls and use them to do whatever, or should you get the spells, or should you half and half, or should I just follow a guide and if they'll say
I would either follow a guide or talk
souls.
To me.
Okay.
Well, follow a guide to see what your options are, and then talk to me and say, "Well, here's my options. What should I do?"
Okay.
Some of them you may see the only thing I can use this soul for is this weapon, which I don't really care about.
Okay.
If that's the case, just consume it, get your like 20,000 souls, and use it to like level up. Or
now, and I forget, did you end up playing the projectile-based guy, or did you switch to something else?
That's what I did, but now in New Game Plus, I'm almost going like half and half, because I got a pretty good weapon that's pretty powerful. But my magic is also pretty powerful. My issue is that I don't have a lot of defense. So even against regular enemies, 2 or 3 hits and I'm dead typically. So I can't get too crazy with like my melee combat. I do still need to do a lot of it ranged. But yeah, I don't know. I'm having a blast with it, and as frustrating as some of the platinum has been.
Do you know how long you've played it? Did you check?
I think I'm like 40 hours or so.
Does it track it, or do you have to go to the thing?
No, it tracks it. Okay. I'm guessing by the time I platinum it, it'll be 60 hours. if I had to guess. The whole white-black tendency, manipulation stuff is kind of a pain, but I think I'm through the worst of it. I still have some stuff to do, but I don't think it's going to be too bad what I have left. And one of the things that annoyed the crap out of me, by far the worst trophy in the game, well, it's either to get all the magic spells or get all the miracles, just because you have to play through the game, like I said, at least twice, maybe 3 times to get everything. That's really just time consuming. The most annoying thing is getting all of the rings. A lot of the rings are just go here and find it. But some of the rings are get this item, trade it with this guy to get this ring.
Like in
or
Bloodborne.
Go to this world, but go there in pure black tendency. Because then you'll be able to go over here, and there it is. So there's a lot of... That stupid one trophy to get all the rings is by far the most involved. But one of the rings you can get in the game, if you did the deluxe pre-order thing, whatever, you get it. If you didn't do that, the only way to get it is by getting this super rare drop from this one enemy and then trading it with somebody to get the ring. So that's why I got so leveled up, because I just kept running through this one part of the level, killing this guy and killing him and killing him and killing him.
Do they respawn, or do you got to go out and go back in?
It's quicker just to die. He's right by a cliff. I would kill him. If I didn't get it, I run off a cliff.
Because you didn't.
And then I go right back, grab my souls.
Oh, because you can get the souls again.
Yeah,
right.
so I would just keep dying, picking up my souls, killing him,
Gotcha.
die, pick up my souls, kill him. And so that's the main reason why I got...
That's part of the deluxe thing, that you can get help on a trophy.
Exactly.
See, that stuff I don't like.
That was the most annoying part. But even then, I'm like, it was getting kind of annoying, but I'm like, it's still fun. I know I'm at least leveling up. It's not like this is all for nothing. I'm going to be more powerful when it's all said and done. But I think I'm through the worst of it. One of the ones I have left, which I'm not strong enough to do yet. Remember the video and like all the trailers and stuff for it? There's this, Tower Knight, the giant guy with the giant shield.
Is he not a regular boss?
He's a regular boss, but remember how I said there's the one boss that creates like the clones of herself?
Okay.
And there was the trophy where you have to hit only the real one to get that special trophy. With him, there's a special trophy. When you go in there, there's all these archers up above you. The smart thing to do is go up there, kill them all. Kill them all, Mick. There's a trophy to beat the boss
while they're all shooting
without killing any of the archers. So when I beat him the first time, I killed all the archers. I just hung out up top and just like peppered him with fireballs, and it was a slow process, but I killed him from up there. Now I need to melee him to death because I can't go up there because it's full of archers. But one hit from him kills me. Oh, wow. I can survive probably 2 or 3 hits. Well, no, probably like 4 or 5 hits from the archers.
Do you have
but one hit from him and I'm dead?
Like in Bloodborne, do you have health that you can like push right on the D-pad or whatever?
It's grass. There's like
that's right, the grass,
crescent moon grass, full moon grass, new moon grass.
Some stuff weighs more. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's not like I'm worried. Am I going to be able to do it? At this point, I'm like, I can definitely get the platinum. It just may be another 10 or 20 hours, but I'm going to get it.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
Did you play anything else besides the other thing?
That is all.
I got my 56th platinum trophy in Spider-Man Remastered. It's also the quickest platinum I've ever gotten at 2 seconds. And I don't care. This is not... I'm going to count this as a real platinum because I did all that crap, 45, 50, whatever it took to platinum. It wasn't that long. It was like 25,
well, that one
hours.
is real.
This one is too. I'm not going to do that again. I did it already, and I paid $20 to get this stupid game. That's a legit platinum. I will say, though, all jokes aside, it's cool that they did. It's cool that I get another platinum. But also, like, now whenever I do go back to Remastered, which now I think it's going to be a while because I'm burnt out on Miles, I'll go back to that.
I'm just going to mainline it at some point.
Exactly. I'll do New Game Plus on Spider-Man Remastered. It might even not be anytime soon. It might really be once Spider-Man 2 is announced at this point. But I'm glad that I don't need to worry about getting all the backpacks and doing all the cat. What's her name? Cat Burglar?
Black Cat.
Black Cat. I was thinking a Catwoman. I'm like, no, that's the wrong universe. So I got the 56 platinum there. I also got my platinum trophy number 57, and this is one I've been working on. And when I say I mean mostly my kids have been working on for, I think, 4 years now. And that would be Rocket League. It's an actual, when I actually went through the list, if you play it like single player a good bit and you do some online stuff, it's not that bad a platinum to get. It took me 4 years because I wasn't ever focused on it. And then after my kids got addicted to it, I'd go on PSN profiles and look at my trophies. And I was like, holy crap. If they can like win the season. Oh, that was the one thing I was worried about them getting is my son, Nick. I was like, hey, bud, I really need you to work on winning the season championship. He's like, okay. So he gets to the season championship undefeated. And I'm like, oh, can you win it for me, bud? He's like, yeah. He's like, if I'm losing, I'll just quit and start again. I'm like, oh, you don't count a loss? Cool. That's my boy. He ends up winning it, I think 9-1 or something. And watching him play, I was like, wow. And then the last trophy I had to get was play an online game with somebody in your party. First off, Sean's PlayStation didn't want to get online. Finally did. We got in a party. We played a game 3-on-3. I think we were on the same team. If I didn't even realize we were on the same team at first. I don't know if you noticed, but I was just trying to ram you. I wasn't even looking at the ball.
I saw you go flying by me a couple times. I'm like, I don't even know if
the ball's not over there. And we suck compared to the people we were playing with.
I got a goal.
You did get a goal. It was an own goal. So you touched it, and then they knocked it in. But, yeah, so I got the platinum. So now I'm up to 57. The question now is...
Can you get to 60 by the end of the year?
If I wanted to just plug away at miles, that would be 58.
You could do that.
This other one would be 59 because I'm thinking I'm going to get it. It's going to take a while, though. It's just...
It seems like
it's like any
would be
Ubisoft game. I think it'll take... a lot. 60, 70 hours is what I'm guessing. But once it's actually out and people are playing it, then I can look stuff up like, where's all this stuff, all the different ways to upgrade, whatever. Then that would be 59. But then there's still, I already played My Name is Mayo, so I can't get that. I could go back to Hellblade.
What about not Fun Run or whatever they call
Top
it?
Run, I've given up.
But wasn't there some other game like that you were somewhat close to a platinum on?
Wasn't it Donut County that I got? Oh, well, there's Tales from...
Maybe that's...
I could do Tales from the Borderlands. I just got to beat episodes 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's like 10 hours.
I think you should get to 60.
There's just so much stuff I actually want to play.
Yeah.
That I don't really want to go play Tales from the Borderlands just for the platinum right now.
Maybe Sackboy won't be that bad.
There's a good bit of... I think there's online stuff, and they haven't launched the online part yet. Let me just pull up PSN profiles. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, maybe I thought I was going to get Watch Dogs. That ain't going to happen.
Are you just done with that game?
I don't know. I don't want to play it right now. Rocket League, Spider-Man, Playroom. My Name is Mayo. Watch Dogs. Bloodstained, I got that. Donut County, I got that. Time Spinner, I got that. Ghost was one I thought I could get, but I don't know that I'm going to go back enough time for that. Riverbond, Attack of the Toy Tanks. Maybe that was it. I could do Attack of the Toy Tanks. Top Run. Oh, Twin Breaker. It might have been that, but that's just too... I'm not good enough.
That may be what I was thinking of.
I'm not good enough at it. But yeah, if I don't get to 60, I'm okay with that. Is my watch dead? Oh, it's telling me I walked a lot today. Thank you, Mr. Watch. But that's all I've been playing this week, other than the topic of the show. That was louder than your swallow. Nah, that's not real. I don't know what you're talking about at this point, James, because I just saw what you said. I don't know what he's saying. That's not real, too. What did we say was real?
I don't know. We were talking about your second Spider-Man, but I don't know when you said that.
That's probably what it was. He's saying it's not a real platinum. James, I don't care. It's a real platinum. And when you load up yours and you get it, I will count it as a real one for you, too. Anyways, the thing I could not wait to talk about today is Immortals Fenyx Rising. First off, FCC, if you're listening to us little YouTubers, we did get the game for free. Thank you, Ubisoft. So take everything we say with a grain of salt. This is a game I've had my eye on ever since they first showed it, which I think was E3 last year at the Ubisoft press conference.
Right? Yeah.
And it was Gods and Monsters. Got delayed a couple times, renamed to Immortals Fenyx Rising. But ever since the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, this is Breath of the Wild in Greek mythology. And after playing it I'm right at about 10 hours now.
Holy crap.
I love this game. I freaking love this game. You said Demon Souls is up there for you. This is up there for me.
I could see it getting there.
I don't know that it's going to take the crown from Final Fantasy VII Remake, But right now, I think this is even just. I'm basically, I think, a quarter of the way through the story, because I did all of Aphrodite's stuff in that region. Have you even got to that part yet?
I'm to the mainland. I've done one of the statue.
Yeah, that's Aphrodite's region.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
And then there's Ares, and then I forget who the other two got. Ares! And then there's two other gods. I forget which ones they are. But I will say it is a Ubisoft game. Like Sean said, you go up something high, you click a button, and then the fog of war disappears, and you can see the map and everything. One of the things I really like about this is when you're up somewhere high. Have you done like the binocular thing?
And you can like reveal.
So good. Like I remember when I was first doing it, when I first started playing it, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then I was like, man, I'm not getting a lot of the ambrosia to upgrade my health. I was like, this sucks. Let me go up somewhere high and start looking. And then I was like, oh, wait, I've got that thing. And all of a sudden it vibrates when you get close to something. Then you hit R2 to reveal. And I'm like, oh, ambrosia. Cool. This is awesome. But what have you thought so far on Immortals Fenyx Rising? Immortals. Sound like I said Immortals.
It's definitely a Breath of the Wild. I won't go so far as to say clone, but it's very heavily inspired by Breath of the Wild, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I
to
think
me,
this
it
is
seems
the most,
a bit more.
This is the most Breath of the Wild copycat. This is the closest thing that we've gotten since it came out.
Where it's like, start here, do all these little things that aren't shrines to get all your power-ups that you're going to use throughout the game, and now you've got this one, okay, you're ready to go. Jump off the plateau, and here's the rest of the world. Like, it's very Breath of the Wild, except your weapons don't break.
I wrote it down right here with 2 exclamation points.
I think it's a bit obtuse in parts. The game is, to me right now, and I think I'm only 2 or 3 hours in, it seems like it could be overwhelming. When you get to I can't remember what it's called, the place where you can, the little shrine thing where you can upgrade this or upgrade
the Hall of the Gods.
That thing, yeah. I was like, oh my,
There's like
what do
7
I
things
use here? What am I supposed to do with this? I went to one of them, and it's like daily challenges or whatever. And then there was one that was like, I think a weekly challenge or something. And it was like, beat this shrine, but this thing in this amount of time for like a gold, this amount of time for silver, or just beat it for bronze. And it was like a minute 20 for gold, a minute 40 for silver.
Your stamina didn't regenerate or something like that? Yeah.
It took me 20 minutes to beat. And I wanted to just quit. I'm like, I don't know what... It seemed like they didn't explain what I was even trying to do. For the life of me, I couldn't even figure out how to get out. And I died. But every time you die, they just put you right back to the beginning, but they only give you 1 health bar back.
Right.
So anytime you get hit once after that, you're dead and you're starting over. I'm like, can I at least just start the timer over?
I think you
start back with full health. But like I was hitting like options, I was hitting the touchpad.
I think you gotta click and hold.
I couldn't find any way that just said restart, challenge, or exit.
Get me the hell out of here.
To me, there's a couple things that are maybe a little obtuse.
Some of the puzzles are obtuse. I saw one of the reviews said that the puzzles are very unimaginative and stuff, and I actually did one thing at lunch today to basically finish off Aphrodite's main quest. Then she gave me other side quests to do. But it was this really cool shrine-like thing, but it's like the last one in these series of things to basically finish off her main quest line. Really long, really intricate, moving platforms. You got to shoot arrows through fire and have it do this and stuff. I loved it. The things that I've had trouble with when I've come across them. Have you come across any of these things on the ground where there's like a 4x4 thing of squares that you have to form into a picture, and there's only like a couple spaces you can move it to? It's like one of those old
the little slidey puzzles.
But there's only like 2 extra things you can do, and I couldn't figure it out. So that was really annoying. But yeah, what was your finger?
One other thing in the vein of obtusicity is, and it's just a quality of life type thing, but when you're in the shrines, I wish when I hit a switch or did something, it would automatically show what's happening. Because I'll hit a switch and you might hear like ka-chunk or something. I'm like, I don't know what that did.
Oh, maybe I turned something on that you don't have.
Maybe, because I'm like, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh wait, have those platforms always been there? Have I been? Oh, I haven't been over there yet. That's what that switch must have done. It probably, but I'm like, if I step on it, I just want the camera to be like, look, here's what's happening. Oh.
So it won't do that, but if you go into, and I can't remember if it's under options and then HUD or gameplay or something, but basically there's accessibility options, but it doesn't say accessibility, so it's kind of confusing where to find it.
Yeah.
But you can turn on like puzzle hints. I think it was maybe it wasn't puzzle hints or something else. But it'll turn on like an aura. It'll be like you'll see this blue up like in this part of the screen.
I've seen that.
But then you can also turn where when you hit a switch or you do something, it'll be this little circle will pop up with an arrow and it'll go like steam vent activated. And as you turn, it'll show you where it is.
Definitely don't have that.
That makes life
That's
a lot
exactly
easier.
what I'm talking about. Okay, so that would be nice. Overall, I definitely really like it. I think the writing. The whole tone of the game is phenomenal.
I bet there's probably some people that are like, this is not Greek mythology. But I'm like, the fact that Prometheus and Zeus, and this is not a spoiler, are narrating this story and their back and forth is hilarious. And also all of the kind of that's what she said comments, you might not, I don't know if you've gotten any, but they get really like, especially when they're talking about Aphrodite, like and they acknowledge it. They're like meta, like, that was too easy. I'm not even going to comment on that one. Like they do stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's so well written. And for there to be so much dialogue in this game, I'm like, just writing this game, not even programming it and creating it and coming up with the idea, just writing this game had to be a monumentous task.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so funny.
I feel like I think Breath of the Wild was kind of this way too. I feel like just going to that first like Aphrodite's area or whatever, I got overwhelmed in combat real quick by those like red glowing bear things.
And one thing I don't understand,
the only way I can kill some of these enemies is to just look for rocks to throw at them.
Oh, I've only done that a couple times. But
I feel like I have to do that to kill some of these enemies. I'm like, I'm in the first area and these things are like just destroying me.
Also, there's red bears and boars and stuff, but then there's also blue ones. So I wonder if eventually it'll say you get a fire sword and an ice sword. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
But you got to use that dodge.
Yeah.
So if they attack you with like if they do like a red glowing attack, they're coming.
You can go into like bullet time mode and
yeah. But that's out for a while. It took me a while to get the hang of that, but once I did, I got a lot better at combat.
Okay.
The one thing I'm not good at, and I'm never good at this in any game, is the parrying. That's another hard word to say.
The L1, R1.
L1 and R1.
I think it's fairly easy.
But they do give you a good...
At least it's like...
It doesn't have to be...
You have like a half a second where you don't need to like time it perfectly. You've got a window.
And I have seen that there's some upgrades that like if you do a perfect parry, then you can attack right away and do 200%, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do a perfect parry to parry. It's just a lot of times I don't have... When I'm fighting somebody, I don't for some reason have my finger on L1. So I'm always I'm relying on dodges. And I did just get an upgrade that you can do an air dodge, which that helps. Have you found any harpies or anything like that flying around?
The little flying things, yeah.
Once you can do the air dodge, that makes... Because you got to jump up to attack these things, because I don't like shooting arrows in this. That's the only part of the combat I don't like. But you got to jump up to attack these things. And if there's two of them and one's attacking from this way, you can't dodge when you're in the air until you get this upgrade. Okay. That makes life a lot better.
One thing I did... mainly because I'm playing this while I'm trying to play Demon Souls, I had to switch dodge and also run to circle. I was not feeling square. I'm like, square doesn't seem like it should dodge. I did not like that. So I switched that to circle. I've yet to come across, like, it was showing me something in red on the button remap thing.
Oh, but it still let you do it?
And it was like, this may cause you problems.
Might not be optimal.
And I'm like, well, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it.
So what does square do for you now? I can't even think of what circle does.
I don't...
Because square for me is run and dodge.
Yeah, I've got those on circle. I don't know that
circle is crouch.
I switched that to
L3 or something. Yeah, I need to do that too.
Yeah.
I thought like I told you, I was thinking about changing the two attacks from R1 and R2 to square and triangle. But when I tried doing it, I was just like, this is too complicated. But now, 10 hours in, I'm used to it. I'd still probably rather attack with those two, and I might at some point go back into the settings, but it's not that big a deal. And you're obviously used to that from Demon Souls.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall, I really, really like it. I think once I get more time with it, I'd be shocked if this game was not in my top 5. It will maybe, possibly, probably end up in the top 3. It's a lot of... One other thing. And
James
maybe,
Solar, by the way, you love your Ubisoft games, your Assassin's Creed game. This game was made for you. I would definitely get on PS5. It plays great on PS5, by the way. They did say just play it in performance mode, which I would do anyways because it's 60 frames per second.
I noticed
There's
different. Like the...
I didn't even try. I just didn't do it because they said, well, there might be some issues. It sounds like there's a patch coming for the fidelity mode or whatever.
Yeah, fidelity mode. I'm like, this looks no different except it's not 60 frames.
Yeah, I just play performance mode.
To me, I don't know if I'm just misremembering Breath of the Wild or if I'm just spoiled by it. I feel like I want to be able to zoom in further to the map than I can.
Me too. It kind of reminds me of God of War's map.
Yeah.
God of War 2018.
Yeah,
Where it's like everything's there, but it's like I just can't do what I want to.
Right. I want
God
to get
of War
in
was
closer.
more because it was like at a weird angle. So it's not the same thing, but I do have a little bit of an issue with the map. It's not as bad as Jedi Fallen Order, I will say that, because that map was
terrible.
garbage.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot like I would want
Breath of the Wild 2 to be.
Yeah. Like I love the
that's what I was
style
gonna
of
say.
gameplay. I just give me my sword. Give me some new swords throughout. I don't want to use like a tree branch and an axe and a sword and a spear. Just,
And it's cool
Zelda.
that your heart attack
I just want a
is
sword,
a separate weapon.
and I
like
don't
that.
want it to break.
Yeah, your heart attack is an axe in this, and I like that. At first, when I started attacking, I was like, R2 doesn't do anything. What the hell? And then I was like, oh, it's probably another weapon. And then sure enough, it was. Oh, crap. Oh, that's what I was going to say. The Aphrodite thing, like I was saying. So those, the things that are like shrines where you go down into the oh, God, what the hell are they called?
The
pit of Tartarus. Like I was going to write my
Dogs of Tartarus.
The Dogs of Tartarus. You go in one of those as the last thing for Aphrodite, like I was talking about, that thing with all the puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
That almost felt like a dungeon. So if there's going to be one, so I'm thinking there's 4 of those in the game because there's 4 gods you have to like liberate so that you can all go fight. That was the other thing. It seems like, not really a spoiler, but very early on, you find out there's 4 things, which I kind of just gave away, but there's 4 things it seems like you need to do so you can go fight Typhon. Just like in Breath of the Wild, there was 4 divine beasts and then you have to go fight Ganon. I was like, it's kind of like copying my homework, but change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't care because
I'm totally
cool.
fine with
it's
it. It's
cool. Yeah. But yeah, that thing with Aphrodite felt like a dungeon, more of like it was really all a puzzle-based dungeon. It reminds me of how one of the Oracle games is puzzle-based and the other one is more action-focused. I mean, they both have action and puzzles, but one's more than the other. This was like a puzzle-based dungeon, and I really liked it. The load times are super quick. I find like there was a hint that popped up that I was reading, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm in the game. Crap, these damn load times are so fast.
Yeah, there's like no time. The hints, I mean, I don't think they're super...
Right.
I don't think you really need them anyway, but it's weird. I'm like reading one, and then all of a sudden I'm like back in the game before... Yeah.
I love it. But it's just crazy. I don't think I'm ever going to get over how quick working mountain. Yeah, whatever. Oh no, give Spider-Man to Sean.
And that's a weird spelling.
Yeah,
too.
I think that's how Deshaun Kaiser. Remember the old Notre Dame quarterback?
He had an E at the end.
Oh, you're right.
It was like Deshaun.
Maybe I have a Deshaun in my phone. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh crap! I forgot what I was saying. The other good thing I've noticed, because I've gotten a couple more weapons, they're really just cosmetic. They're not just cosmetic, but like if you upgrade, when you get to the point where you can upgrade your sword, your axe, your helmet, your armor, blah, 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 blah. No matter what sword, axe, armor, helmet.
It applies to all of them?
It applies to all of them. But
okay, that makes me feel better.
it's good. Because at first I was like, do I even want to upgrade this original sword?
Well, I haven't upgraded anything yet because I'm like, I don't know if I want to waste it on this, but okay, that's good to know. But another thing that could have been brought to my attention 2 days ago.
But each weapon you get, it'll have like a different buff. Like if you click on it, it
gives you an extra bar of stamina
whatever. So that's cool. It's got the stamina bar just like God of War. I can't remember, or Breath of the Wild. This is God of War and Breath of the Wild. This is like 2 of my favorite franchises merged into one.
There's another couple weird, again, just quality of life type things. I don't like when you're climbing. I want to be able to hit X, I think,
It's an upgrade. It's an upgrade. It's a cheap upgrade, but it's an upgrade.
without having to like jump off and then double jump back.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't really mind that, but it's nice to know there's an upgrade. What I don't like is how I can't do it when I'm moving. I need to come to a stop. Otherwise, like I'm climbing and I just want to hit X to jump off and then jump back.
I could never figure out the jump off.
You have to like not be moving, and then it'll let you jump off. And I'm like, what?
God, that reminds me of.
And I think there's something
the
similar with the
bean in Super Metroid that I hated so
Oh
much.
God, I think there's something similar. There's something about the crouch that seems weird, and maybe it was that same thing. Maybe you can't crouch when you're walking. You need to come to a complete stop before it'll let you crouch. There's something that felt weird to me about the crouch.
What I do a lot of times is when I'm gliding. Oh, that's another thing Circle does. Is it's what does the glide with your wings.
Yeah, I don't know that I like that. I feel like you should just be able to. Is that how Zelda was? Where it was a different.
I can't even remember at this point.
Well, I guess you could.
Yeah, because you could
jump,
release it.
but you couldn't double jump in Zelda.
Correct.
So this,
Oh, yeah.
it just seems weird that I have to. If I want to go a long distance, I have to hit X, and then hold circle to glide. I feel like I want to just be able to hold X and. It should glide.
But I do. I find myself, like I remember doing in Breath of the Wild a lot. If I'm gliding and I want to glide a long way and my stamina starts getting low, I'm like, well, just get rid of the wings. And he's like, oh, and then I hit it when I'm just like 100 feet above the ground.
Yeah.
Just
okay. Question. Thank you. Phoenix.
Yes.
Male or female?
Male.
See, I went female because I just pictured.
All the promotional stuff was her as a female.
That's what I thought.
He or she as a female.
That's what I thought. I'm like, I don't.
He
want him
or
to be
she
a
has gotten
dude.
herself into quite a predicament.
It's also kind of weird. I know it's not colon, but it feels like it is. It's like Immortals Fenyx Rising.
I don't know why there's not a colon. Yeah.
It's A, it seems like there should be, but B, it sounds like the first of like a series.
Right.
But then it's like, well, this is Phoenix, but you can make Phoenix whatever and whoever. It almost seems like it should just be an unnamed protagonist, like Demon Souls. I feel like any game where you can just create a person to play as, it's weird to just give them a name and say, well, this is Phoenix, because Phoenix is going to be different no matter who's playing the game, but yet he or she will be back in the next one, but it'll be like, I don't know, that just seems weird to me. But yeah, I made her a female. It just seemed like, I don't know, Phoenix seems like she should be a female, but
I just like, I know I'm a masculine idiot, whatever. I just like, if I have the choice, I just like to play as a dude. I have no problem playing as a female. Horizon's my number 5 favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
But I just do. Like when I played Assassin's Creed for 10, 15 hours, Odyssey, I was a dude. I was, I can't remember their names. Not even, he'll let me know.
That was just another funny thing when you're doing your character creator and like they're narrating over the top of it. And you're like, and her skin was, and you can pick the different ones. And like I picked one of them, and it was like, oh, the color of Poseidon's vomit or something. I'm like, there's just all these like little. It reminds me, but probably better. It kind of reminds me of The Messenger, like that quality of like.
Yeah.
I think the writing's fantastic.
The writing is amazing. This is at like a 76 or something on Metacritic on PS5. I think OpenCritic was like an 82 last time I checked. I don't know how those are any different. I always just go to Metacritic. It feels way too low for me. Most people are giving it 7s, which would put it right in that line, but whatever. The puzzles in this remind me of old school God of War. I wrote that down. The combat's awesome. I freaking love it. Some people said it's too easy. I'm like,
I don't think it's too easy.
There was a couple.
There's some time. The last thing I did, which is when I stopped playing because I died, and I'm like, that's enough. I got somewhere where I was fighting
a legendary
2 or
boss.
3 of those harpies.
Okay.
A big dude with a shield and a bunch of small dudes with the shield, except the big dude with the shield, unbeknownst to me, kept making more small dudes with shields.
Yeah.
And I ended up just getting overwhelmed and I died. And I'm like, and I haven't gone back. But
yeah,
I don't think the combat's easy. Or
no.
I just haven't gotten the hang of it.
You'll get the hang of it, but also as you get the stuff to upgrade your weapon and stuff. Oh, no, I was making a smoothie. That was not me farting. If it came through the microphone. When you start upgrading your sword and stuff, that makes it easier too, obviously. Okay. Typhon's thing. Oh, I kind of alluded to this, but Typhon he's the bad guy in this. He looks really crazy too. He looks cool. I love the art in this too. It's not cel shaded, but it's very cartoony, and I think it just fits.
It works. Yeah. It works.
Like
well.
this writing and stuff wouldn't work if this looked like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You know, it just wouldn't.
No,
it wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
But Typhon has his thing in the middle of the map, like Hyrule Castle, and it's just like I don't care. I love it. Yeah, I said the vaults are like shrines. There's no breakable weapons. This was one thing I didn't talk about. It is weird to be playing a game. First off, again, thank you, Ubisoft. To be playing a game like this before launch.
Yeah.
When some of the puzzles and stuff, like I can't look up unless somebody who else got the game early. There's a couple of videos on YouTube, but there's not much. If I'm stuck on something, I'm like, I am the only way to get through this.
Or look up the funtivities.
There are funtivities. I did see that, but I didn't even think to use them when I was stuck. But it makes you feel better when it's like, I didn't look this up on YouTube or IGN or something. I just figured it out myself, and it feels cool. Have you come across, I don't think you've gotten this yet, but wraiths or legendary bosses?
I haven't gotten to any bosses. Well, I guess maybe not. That's not true.
I
fought like
a
Cyclops and stuff.
No, these things are actually called legendary bosses, and when you get close to one, it's like, hey, you're about to fight a legendary boss. This is going to suck. Make sure you're stocked up before you go fight this thing.
That's another thing I'm still not quite sure of with your potions and stuff.
So if you tap, you use the potion. If you hold it, you'll just eat a pomegranate.
Okay.
Which gives you a little bit of health, or you can trade in 5 pomegranates for a potion or whatever it is.
Okay.
6,
That's what I thought it was doing, but again, I don't know that was ever really explained, or it was and I missed it.
I think it was, but I kind of
But I just by using them, I kind of gathered that's what it was, but I wasn't very sure about that.
Alexios and Cassandra in Odyssey. I knew James wouldn't let me down. But the wraiths, so you get to this part where there is someone from Greek mythology who, at the end of this quest, it's like, whoa, was that, what's his face? And they're like, kind of, but it's like it's like his soul is trapped somewhere, and until you go beat him, the wraith of him will show up in this area every so often. And he's not, I would call him like a mini boss, and he was tough. I died at him once, and then I beat him a second time. Then I was like, well, screw it. I'm going to go fight this guy that I don't want to spoil, but it's pretty cool. And you go down into like one of these shrine things, and it reminds me of Breath of the Wild, like the combat ones. But it's just, I think it was I just went down there, maybe did a puzzle or two to get to him, and then you fight him. That took like 10, 12 minutes to beat this guy. And it was a lot of dodging, and it was parrying, and it was using potions and stuff. But I beat him, and that felt awesome. But then, yeah, these legendary bosses, I fought one and died and was like, no, I'm going to avoid this. I'm going to go underneath to get to where I need to be for the part of this quest. But it's just cool that stuff is out there. I heard other people were saying in reviews that, like, it's got the exploration thing down, but there's nothing to discover in this compared to Breath of the Wild. Like, there's no dragon floating in the sky, or you see, like, a shooting star come down, and you're like, well, what was that? What was that noise?
I've got something on the map, this, like, bird thing or something that I can't remember if I did something or if it just happened, but all of a sudden it was like not a cutscene, but like it showed it and it went.
Was it like a bolt of lightning?
It like crashed or something.
It's
fell.
a side quest that I haven't done.
Yeah, so I mean, there are some things like that.
Yeah, I just think people are, and this is also coming out at a weird time. Ubisoft, like 6 weeks ago, put out Watch Dogs, and then 2 weeks ago they put out Assassin's Creed, and now they put this out. Like, or no, I think it might have all been within 4 weeks. I can't keep track of time. 4 or 5 weeks, whatever. And it's like the third one. So you've already got so many people are playing Assassin's Creed. Not as many people are playing Watch Dogs, but it's the third open world game. And it's coming out a few days after Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity came out.
Yeah.
Which is weird timing. And then it's a week away from freaking Cyberpunk. Like, I feel like this game's just going to get...
Not to mention just...
the PS5
Demon
Series
Souls
X in general.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. I feel like this game's going to get buried, not by me, because I couldn't give two... People saying it could take 175 hours to beat Cyberpunk. Kiss my white patoot. I am not playing Cyberpunk.
No, I just don't care about it at all.
I'm so glad it's not nominated for the Game Awards this year. I'm so glad it came out too late. It makes me so happy. Although I would rather have that one Game of the Year than Animal Crossing. But we'll talk about that next week. All in all, 10 hours, like I said, 10 hours in to finish Aphrodite's thing. Means give or take around 40 to get the other 4 gods' main stuff done. And I've done some side quests like going into shrines and looking for ambrosia and stuff to upgrade myself. Probably 40 hours or so to beat it, and then I would guess another 20, 30 to platinum it. But if the rest of it is as fun as this is, this could be my game of the year, and I probably will platinum it.
Yeah, to me right now, I'd put it at about an 8, maybe 8.5. But I fully acknowledge it's just because I don't know that I've really gotten the hang of it yet.
Yeah.
And again, it's kind of the opposite, where I loved Breath of the Wild and I had trouble playing Horizon. Not that they're anything alike, but trying to go from Demon Souls to this, I think is also kind of messing with me, which is also why I haven't fully gotten the hang of it yet. But
well, you also can't.
I'm
fully
pretty
commit to it
confident.
yet.
Yeah. I'm pretty confident this will end up at least a 9, if not a 9.5 for me. Especially there's already some things that you've told me that already make me feel better. Some of these options and the fact that I don't need to worry about, do I upgrade this helmet or that helmet? You just upgrade your helmet.
And you can hide the helmet too. Did you see that? I don't like the helmets.
I didn't, but they have that in Demon Souls too, because there's this one helmet you can get. It's like a monk's wrap, and it's like, it's like this big like pyramid on top of your head.
You can't even see the enemies.
Yeah, so it's like you can just turn it off. But okay, that's
the one thing that did me think of one thing that confuses me is it says you can customize, and maybe it's something that the customizing is just picking your armor, even though it doesn't matter. But it seems like you could go in and customize the coloring of stuff, but you can't. So either it's just you customize your armor by picking different armors that you get, or it's something that'll be live on launch day, and I just don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, if you're listening to this, if you love Breath of the Wild, if you like Ubisoft games, if you're into Greek mythology, I don't know how else we could. And again, we got the game for free, so take it with a grain of salt. Can you email a dude right now while we're thinking of it? Just be like, hey, is it, too late?
Yeah.
So take it with a grain of salt, whatever. But I'm shocked that I like this game as much as I do. It kind of reminds me, stick with me, this is weird. I went through all of last year saying Resident Evil 2 is my game of the year. And then Death Stranding came out. Now, these two games could not be more different. But it's like, I wanted to love this game. I didn't think I would. I thought it was going to just be cheesy, whatever. But this game has blown my expectations away. I friggin' love it. It's at least a 9 for me right now.
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever call it a 10 out of 10, but it's right up there right now for Game of the Year running for me with Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up a 3-way race for me.
And that's the thing. I still haven't even played Demon Souls. I haven't played Call of Duty. Not that that'll probably be up there, but I do know that now it's good that this came out when it did, since I was kind of burned out on Miles. Like I said, I don't have Demon Souls yet. I'll wait till Christmas for that. I've got Sackboy, but I really just got Sackboy because I wanted to play it with you. And eventually they'll have online multiplayer so we can play it separately if we want to. But this is the game I'm going to be spending my time with here until Christmas. I can tell.
Yeah.
2-3 hours a night here, there, whatever. Take my time. It's not to the level of Breath of the Wild where I can't stop thinking about it. But I do go to bed thinking okay, I wonder how I get through this next thing. Where is it on the I'm actually thinking about this game, and it's cool. Makes me happy.
Yeah. Yep, I dig it.
All right. That's it for Immortals Fenyx Rising. Let's finish up the podcast. Only one news item here, and then we'll get to the wrap-up because we knew we were going to talk about Phoenix for a long time. The PlayStation 5 just had the biggest console launch in the history of video games. This comes from GamesIndustry.biz. The PlayStation 5 has outsold its forebearer. I think I always thought that was forebearer.
I thought it was bearer too.
In the first 2 weeks, making it not only the biggest PlayStation launch, but the biggest console launch of all time. The official PlayStation Twitter account confirmed the next-gen console had surpassed the initial sales of the PS4, although the company has yet to share official sales figures. Back in 2013, PlayStation's then CEO, Andy House, they said Andrew, but I'm going to call him Andy, said the PS4 had sold 2.1 million units in just over 2 weeks, declaring it, quote, an impressive and record-setting accomplishment for our company and for our industry, end quote. A few days later, PlayStation quoted analysts at DFC Intelligence who confirmed the PS4 was the biggest launch in the history of games consoles. Today's message from PlayStation indicates the industry has a new record holder. Quote, we want to thank gamers everywhere for making the PS5 launch our biggest console launch ever. Demand for PS5 is unprecedented, so we wanted to confirm that more PS5 inventory will be coming to retailers before the end of the year. Please stay in touch with your local retailers. Shout out to Bartolotta, who's translation, get in touch with scalpers. I thought that was a funny tweet.
No.
So obviously if the PS4 was the biggest console and they're saying the PS5 sold more than that, this is the biggest launch ever. Blah, 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 blah. They expect to sell more in its first fiscal year than the PS4 did. The PS4 sold 7.6 million units during that period. Microsoft has also fared well, as we talked about last week. Announced earlier this month that the Series X and S were also the biggest launch in Xbox history. It also came out today that it was the best console launch ever in the UK. Well, they might have just said PlayStation, but it was also that makes it the best. It was the best launch in Spain also, and there was one other country that I'm forgetting that I saw that as well. So that's it. Wait, no, I had a couple of things here. Oh, also, I just wrote down that Time did name it one of 2020's best inventions.
I mean, that goes without saying.
But I kind of thought they would have, if they were going to pick one thing, I would think someone would pick the DualSense over the actual PlayStation 5.
You can make that argument, yeah.
Oh, the adaptive triggers are kind of weird. They just kind of, in Phoenix, like I'll be gliding or something, and then they just kind of go like, right? They just kind of like, they just like move a little bit. I'm like, why are you moving?
On their own?
Yeah.
I've noticed that when I'm doing the Far Sight or whatever, I don't know if it's meant, if this is how it's meant to be, but like you can just move and you can, like, it vibrates. Mm-hmm. But if you hold it down, if you hold the R2 down while you're looking around, you also feel it going like, like it moves, as opposed to just the controller vibrating. It starts like,
interesting.
So, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Cool. Oh, yeah. Go back to that initial area, too, because there's some ambrosia and chests and stuff over there after you upgrade. After you level up, I say level up, there's really no levels in this, which is kind of weird, but I'm fine with that. After you get a little bit better, go back to that area and look around. There's ambrosia and stuff over there that you can get.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm on the lookout for ambrosia ever. I'm like, I need to get as much health in this game as I possibly can.
Yeah.
That's it for the news. Now it's time for the wrap-up. Fortnite, it was announced this past week, is launching a $10 subscription service. I don't know if this means Fortnite's doing better than ever or if it means it's really cooling down and they're like, we need to at least get $10 out of everybody. Gets you like 1,000 V-Bucks, gets you access to the Battle Pass, stuff like that. I'm sure my kids are going to sign up for it, but I don't know really what it means, but I had to throw it in there because it's Fortnite. The game of the generation, spoiler alert, for if you haven't watched that bonus episode yet. We're very sorry that we named it that. We had no choice.
I don't like it, but I'm trying to be impartial.
We had no choice. Oh, we're going to do the December episode, but we know what we're going to do for that.
Yeah.
A rare copy of Super Mario Brothers 3, or what happened there, sold at auction.
You went from auction to auction.
At auction this past week for $156,000, the most expensive video game ever sold.
What was so special about it?
Sealed in box, whatever.
Oh, but it's not like a limited. It's literally just Mario 3.
I don't know. Mint condition. I don't know. $156,000. You can play it for free on Switch Online.
Wow.
Just announced today by Lily Mo Games and Colin Moriarty, Habroxia 2. I'm kind of disappointed it's this far away. It's out February 21st. I can't wait to play it. Super excited. I loved the first Habroxia. You should get it. It's $10 and you would have a blast with it. And it's a platinum in a couple hours.
It's not just Vita?
No, it's both PS4 and Vita.
Oh.
And this will be on PS4 and Vita as well.
What about PS5?
Backwards compatible. No PS5 version of it.
Oh, okay.
But it's playable. In sadder news, Cuphead: The Delicious Last Course was delayed until 21. Not surprising. I don't know that this is ever coming out. I know COVID. I don't want people crunching and all that. We're all working from home. I get it. I can still be frustrated. Like I want more Cuphead. Maybe I should get it on PlayStation and that'll be my 60th platinum. There's no way. Yeah, there's there's no way.
It's not that I don't think you have it in you to do it. I think you could get good enough to do it.
See, he counts it as a legit platinum.
I just don't know that you would have the patience. I think you would just...
I wouldn't. I'd be like, man, I already beat this crap. I ain't doing this again. I'm not doing that stupid flying robot thing again.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I have nightmares about that. Watch Dogs Legion, it was announced by Ubisoft that their online components are being delayed into early 21 so they can focus on fixing parts of the game in single player that are broken. I really thought that was going to be a contender for Game of the Year.
Could have been a contender. Is that your most.
We'll save it for the Game of the Year podcast. Disappointing?
Yeah.
We'll save it.
Okay.
got-
yes.
No, I've got another contender. I just need to figure out in my mind which was more disappointing. Doom Eternal is finally coming out on Switch December 8th. I don't know how the hell they got that game working on Switch.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see how bad it
15
looks.
frames per second. There was a trailer. I didn't watch it, and I'm sure it's not going to make it look like it really does. And it's only out digitally. Originally, it was going to be physical also, but they said, "The hell, this is taking forever. Just download the stupid thing."
I picture it like, I know it's not going to be, and I'm obviously I'm exaggerating. I don't really. It makes me think of like the fact that when Street Fighter 2 came out on NES. Like that kind of, like obviously it's not going to look that bad, but compared to Street Fighter 2 on the SNES, like, I feel like it's just,
or like Doom on Super Nintendo versus PC,
or like Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god,
you don't need to have every game be on every system. Like it just, I don't know.
I'll be really interested to see Digital Foundry and stuff on this because it's an actual download. They're not doing any of the cloud stuff like they did with Control and whatnot. It's an actual download, so I'll be interested to see how it does and how it performs.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, in addition to delaying the game, they've now delayed their announcement of future DLCs until after the game launches. Can't care.
Yeah.
Not can't care.
I can't do it.
There was a new PSVR patent. Some of this stuff would have been news, but I knew we were going to talk about Phoenix forever, so we're flying through it. New PSVR patent was discovered this past week, detailing haptic feedback for the new headset, LED lighting. I don't know why that's a big deal. I guess, LED in your face? I don't know. It's not like
I assume
LEDs
it means
on the
on the outside, like for tracking and stuff. Is
maybe
what I
that's what it is.
assume.
And sensors that recognize if the headset is on your big fat head properly. It looks like it's lighter
I
also.
don't know that I want haptic feedback. I don't want to be like, not necessary.
But playing Doom Eternal in VR, and it's like,
it reminds me of those. Remember we had them. Remember that laser tag thing that you had like a head thing on and like a chest, and if you shot, there's like the little vibrating thing that
gave you a concussion
on your head.
It's
That's
like playing
kind of
in
what
the
it
NFL.
reminds me of.
Red Dead Online is getting a standalone version out already as you're listening to this. December 1st on console and PC. It will have an intro price of $5 until February. Also, it takes up to 123 gigabytes of hard drive space.
I'm good.
I think the fact that they had to sell this as a standalone versus GTA shows you what their moneymaker is. Like running around the Wild West on horses is not the same as getting jetpacks and friggin' Hydra fighter jets and just blowing people up with rocket launchers.
Yeah, I don't get the appeal of this
They
game.
should have just done Red Dead. It didn't need it, and not everything has to have an online component. Phil Spencer said in an interview this week that a smart TV application for Xbox could be coming within a year. So you could be able to go on your Samsung or your LG TV, download an Xbox app, and somehow through xCloud be able to play some games.
And that's pretty cool.
I believe it.
Yeah.
They're forward thinking over there, so I believe it. Phil also said that the current pre-order model is completely outdated, and they're considering doing some kind of a deposit system in the future. I don't know how that's any different.
No, I don't even know what that means.
Like, you give us $20 and it reserves you, but that's pre-order. I don't know.
That's pre-order, yeah.
I don't get it.
I guess that way you don't have to wait for it to be available. You just be like, well, look, I may be 10,000 in line, but at least I know I've got one coming.
I'm going to get
as
one of them at
opposed to
some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Games with gold were announced for December, so were PS Plus, and neither are very good. I'll just say that. The Xbone gets The Raven Remastered and Bleed 2.
Bleed 1 was awesome.
It was. I can't wait for 4. I don't know why I skipped 3.
3 wasn't very good.
On the 360, probably the best out of maybe all the games this month, Saints Row Get Out of Hell, and a game called Stacking.
Stacky or stacking?
Stacking, like Kira does with her blocks. PS Plus for December. Worms Rumble will be free at launch on the PS4 and PS5, as well as the really crappy big-time failed game Rocket Arena, which I kind of thought had already gone free to play. This is this EA game that they're like, it's not Rocket League, but they thought it was going to be the next Rocket League, and it completely flopped. And then Just Cause 4. Not a great month for either. I don't even know who to call the winner.
None of it. I'm good.
I think it's
I've
a
got
tie.
plenty of other stuff. Yeah,
Because I remember Just Cause 3 was free on PS Plus, and I added it to my library. I never even downloaded it. That's the one, it's open world, the Gatling gun to a helicopter, and then over here, and then blow stuff up.
yeah.
It's GTA with grappling guns, I guess. I think I said Gatling gun.
You did say
I meant to say grappling gun. You're like, how are you doing a Gatling gun that goes funk? How are you thwipping with a Gatling gun?
Thwipping and thwapping.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 210. Thank you all so much for being here. As you know, you can always find us at nerd901.com, where they're connecting nerds across the Mid-South and the multiverse. Check out Ernie the Blur Without Fear and everything he's doing on YouTube and Twitch as well. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Kevin White 24. He's at Real Sean White. Together, we're at 2player_co-op. Oh, you moved the head this time.
I did.
My neck's been hurting for like a week.
My back hurts.
Check us out on Patreon. Don't worry about Twitch, YouTube. Subscribe, share the video with everybody in betwixt. Audio services, all that stuff. We have a Facebook page. I don't even care anymore. I don't know why we have it. They're like, oh, you didn't get any new likes this week. I'm like, we haven't put anything on there in 2 years. I don't know what to tell you. But that's it for episode 210. It's a slow time of year. I'm glad we had Phoenix to talk about this week. We do have something to talk about next week as well. But I'll save that tease for then. No, I'm not saving the tease. The tease is this. We'll talk about that then. We're gonna do the Game Awards predictions. Nobody's still listening, anyways. But until that time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.